So time for another hike. We're back in the Pisgah National Forest, starting out at the Spence Ridge Trailhead in the Linville Gorge wilderness area. Our plan this time around is to hike the Is That All You Got loop. So we'll start here at Spence Ridge and hike south along the Mountain to Sea Trail until we get to the river. We're looking to maybe camp at Camp Shortoff tonight. So should be a lot of fun. And that's how quick you can get turned around. So right off the rip, we start heading down Spence Ridge Trail. And realized, oh wait a minute, we're supposed to be going up the Mountain to Sea Trail to head up towards Table Rock, not down towards the river. So we're gonna turn around, head towards the Mountain to Sea Trail, head up to Table Rock, and then take the ridge line south to Shortoff. So the trail that we want to use is right next to the Spence Ridge Trailhead. And this is considered the Spence Ridge MST connector. Careful, that rock is slippery. You know, the Mountain to Sea Trail down the Spence Ridge, it's a super steep trail. But the nice thing is it's not very long right here. This section between Spence Ridge and Table Rock, though steep, it's like a mile. It's not that bad. You can kind of muster through it. It's not the longest hike we've done, but this is probably the most challenging. Good solid route. So we're at Table Rock, treated with our first view of the gorge. That wasn't too bad. It's taken us about 40 minutes, 30 minutes to get up from Spence Ridge Trailhead to here, up the MST. Oh yeah. better. You ought to fit better this time.
I hope. Whew.
We are going down Chimney Gap, headed down towards Saddle Camp. We get down there, we'll stop and have some lunch, refill our water bottles at the water Chim. And certainly appreciate going down this more than trying to come up it after a long day. Made it down Chimney Gap to Saddle Camp. This is 3.5, 4 miles into the hike from Spence Ridge. It's about lunchtime. We're gonna stop, get some food in us, drink some water, maybe go down to Water Chim, get some more water before we try to go up to Shortoff. We'll have one more climb before we try to make camp in Shortoff later today. Now, there's some questions I've seen on the Linville Gorge.net forum about Water Chim. There are 2 trails. You can see one right there, and then just to the left of it, another trail, or it looks to be a trail. And we learned the last time we were out here that the one to the right is the trail that goes down to Water Chim. I haven't explored the one to the left, so but I'm fairly confident one right here to the right is what we're going to use to get to Water Chim. So down at the base of the trail to Water Chim, we are treated to a nice little water source. I've seen it in the past where all of this is cascading with water, so it's not flowing as well as it has in the past, but still it's flowing pretty good right now. Time to stock up. Serious glare.
Blowing really nice. Pointing in the right direction.
I'm gonna get some. Alright, so we're stocked up, ready to rock and roll. Next up, Shortoff. Alright, all done with lunch. Took about an hour to eat, go get, fresh water. Now it's time to head up Shortoff. It's about a half-mile uphill, and then it levels off and should be a really nice hike the rest of the day. Looking forward to getting to camp. Yeah, I can see why the LGT is a tough one. Taking a while. So we finally made it to Camp Shortoff. We're just over 7 miles from where we started at Spence Ridge Trailhead. Still a pretty technical hike, still pretty tough. A lot of fun. Can't complain. Day has gone really well so far. I think we're gonna find some places to hang and get some food in us. I'm pretty hungry. Let me show you the site. We're gonna lots of opportunity for hanging hammocks. Right, Camp Shortoff. I'm using my Hennessy Hex 12-foot tarp, except I've replaced the line with a Dyneema so that I can use Dutch flies for hanging. Everything else is do-it-yourself, homemade. I've got a whoopee sling that I made, connected to just some homemade tree huggers, 6-foot tree huggers. And then I'm using Dutch clips on that. My ridge line and hammock are connected to the whoopee sling via the Dutch beaner. I'm using the Dyneema, the 1.75 millimeter Dyneema for my ridge line. And then the hammock is the Hexon 1.0 fabric, just sewn, a sewn channel on each end, and then a continuous loop fed through. My under quilt and top quilt are my recent sewing projects. They're probably 20-30 degree quilts. Probably not a straight stitch in either one of them, but they seem to work pretty good. Mike is rocking a Hennessy setup. So he's got the Ultralight Explorer asymmetrical zip, and he opted for the full hex tarp. And I think he's using an underground equipment underquilt, 20 degree underquilt. It's gonna be like 60 degrees. Our underquilts are definitely overkill. Nick also has a 12-foot Hennessy hex tarp. And he's got a 10-foot, 9-foot, or 10-foot netted hammock. And then he's using some homemade straps just connected to the end via a continuous loop on the buckle. I think he's a smarter one of us. Instead of trying to bring quilts out here, he just has a pad and a Costco down throw blanket. It's certainly not going to get all that cold tonight. For tonight's dinner, we're going to do a little Mountain House action. So we have a Mountain House single serving lasagna, and then I've got some pack of nabs and stuff like that to kind of supplement it. So we're off to Water Tree, top off our bottles before we go to sleep. Try to avoid the trek out here first thing in the morning. We go get back on the trail. I think that's going to call it a day. We got our 7 miles in. We're set up for the night. We're going to eat some food and then hit the rack. Tomorrow we'll pick back up and head down the Mountain to Sea Trail to the river, cross, and then head back up the LGT. Good morning. Day 2. It's like 5 a.m.
5:15.
Very dark. I'm tired. We gotta get an early start today, try to get as many miles in as we can. So, time for breakfast. About 7:40, camp is all broken. We've made a quick trip to Chim just to top off our water bottles before we head down towards the river. Looking forward to another exciting day. Oh yeah, gully pipes. Just a trickle.
Needed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the top part of this trail sucks, but halfway through it's not too bad. So we are only down a few feet. We got a long road ahead of us.
Is that like we're going that way and then down that?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, so we're headed down the MST, just past the Wolf Pit connector towards the river. And the last time we were heading down this way, we decided to turn back. Now we finally get to get down there. So we finally made it down to the river. Make our way to a good crossing point. We finished our crossing at MST. We're now heading towards Lead Mine. We'll take the Lead Mine extension over to LGT. Probably stop for lunch somewhere in there. I think there'll be a little bit of elevation today, something like 500 feet. Really looking forward to hiking on this side of the gorge. Alright, so we just got up, we finished with the MST. It keeps going to the left, but we want to take lead mine over to LGT. So you hang a right and you see two trails. One looks like it's going uphill. That takes you to a campsite. And then lead mine is kind of hidden in the bushes a little. Time for a little break. Take the packs off, relax for a little bit. Maybe eat. Can't beat the scenery. Yeah, it's hard to believe. And this is the trail. That's the trail moving forward. So, just over 10 miles into it today. We are done. We found a nice campsite. It's right next to the river. Lots of trees to hang from. Should be alright. You know, spring water sources are a little slim. There's something over here that we can check out. Other than that, the one that was on the map just up the hill, I don't know, maybe 1,000 yards, was dry. So we've always got the river, I guess. We will need to get some more water. I'm down to about 1 liter of water. Well, so for night 2, same setup. Hennessy Hex Tart, do-it-yourself hammock, my quilt set, with a nice view of the river to wake up to. Kind of give you an idea where we're at. Right up there is the amphitheater. So that must be the chimneys running along there. There's Mike's Hennessy Explorer, Ultralight Explorer. And Nick's setup, Hennessy Hex Tart, is netted hammock. And that's why we come to the gorge. Good morning. Day 3, Linville Gorge. It's about 6 a.m. No, 7. We woke up at 6 a.m., had some coffee, a little bit of breakfast. It's way too dark to turn on the camera. The sun's finally starting to come up. We're going to break camp and then start heading up the LGT. We probably have 4 miles, 2 more miles to Spence Ridge, and then 2 miles up or so up Spence Ridge. And we'll be back to our vehicle and this loop will be done.
And I'm gonna make some money. I did that a whole lot easier than Brad did. And again, I'm not carrying a camera. Oh, look up.
So we're done with the LGT. Here's the old Spence Bridge. We're gonna have to find ourselves a place to cross. It looks like we might be able to do some boulder hopping over there. I think this will be a good spot to take a break before we head up Spence Ridge. I hear it's one of the easier trails to go up, but we'll see. We're standing on the rock in the middle of where the Spence Bridge used to be.
Mike, I built you
We're about halfway up Spence Ridge. Maybe half mile to go. Still a tough trail, but in the bigger picture, it's certainly easier than some of the other trails. Lead Mine comes to mind. Chimney Gap. I'll take Spence Ridge over those any day. That is the best thing I've seen all day. 21.05 miles later. We are done, sir, done. Time to get some dry clothes on and go find something greasy to eat. Catch you next time.